What's going on YouTube? So right now I'm standing next to a Hyundai Kona, but not just any Hyundai Kona. This is the top dog, the Mac Daddy, the performance king, the Kona N. That means this is the highest performance Kona money can buy. And let me tell you, this thing means serious business. So with track-ready performance and utility for the whole family, is this the ultimate N model in the lineup? Let's go ahead and find out. Okay, so let's kick this review off by taking a look at the exterior design, as always. So of course, as you'd expect, since this is the N model, this is going to be the most aggressive looking Kona you can get. So basically what they've done is built off of the already pretty aggressive looking inline model and just made things a little bit more aggressive. So you have the unique face, of course, all blacked out, including the Hyundai emblem. You've got the N emblem over there, this little mustache effect up here at the top. And then down here at the bottom, you have the really wide and open lower fascia here to get all that air inside, as well as the extra kind of vent effect look right over here on the side, although this part right here is a functional vent, and then you've got the lower splitter. Also, let's talk about the headlights. These are going to continue to have the split design, so you have full LED headlights down here on the bottom, and then up here at the top is your daytime running light as well as your turn signal indicator. Now next up, we'll take a look at the wheels. These are going to be 19-inch contrast alloys, but of course these are not the normal looking Kona wheels. These are really awesome looking design, super eye-catching. Hyundai tends to do that as you go up the lineup to more and more performance. You get a more and more complex and interesting looking wheel design, and this definitely delivers on that. Of course, this is going to be upgraded, so your brakes are going to be larger. They're 14.2-inch vented disc in the front. We have the really nice looking red brake calipers, which match with this model's body color. And of course, like I said, they have the N branding there on that as well. You do have the body color cladding that goes all around the vehicle. And then coming up here to your mirrors, these are going to be finished in gloss black. They are heated, and you do have blind spot monitoring as well. So here's the side of the Kona N. Now this is pretty much your normal Kona, except it's on steroids. So you have a lot of different cool elements going on here that I want to mention. Now this particular model is the red model, so you can't really see the red accenting down here very well because it blends right in. But this will be red regardless of which of the 4 exterior colors you chose. And there's also in branding. And then up here at the top, I do want to point this out. It's very uncommon for a performance vehicle like this to have roof rails. You do still have that utility for this model. Now, coming around to the rear design of the Kona, once again, Kona on steroids. You're going to have a really cool design. It's really going to capitalize on the signature Kona elements and then just add an extra little bit. So up here at the top, this is probably the most unique element. We have this rear wing spoiler, and we're also going to have a center mounted triangle brake light. So super cool looking, definitely unique to the Kona N model. You're not going to get that on a regular one. And then if we drop down to the taillight unit, this is also going to be full LED for the taillight. You have the LED accenting. Then if we drop below that, we have another unit. This is going to be your turn signal and your incandescent reverse light. And then further on the bottom, this is where you're probably also going to notice a big difference over the regular Kona. You're going to have a very aggressive rear diffuser area. You have the splitter here in the middle, and then we have these large diameter variable exhaust outlets pumping out an absolutely phenomenal noise. Now the Kona is going to throw in most of your safety systems, standard equipment, especially on this N model. So you're going to have forward emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane keeping assist, as well as auto high beam headlamps. Well guys, I'm sure you're tired of hearing me ramble on about the exterior of this Kona N because it is cool looking, but I'm sure you're really curious about that track experience and how it drives. So let's go ahead and get one step closer to that by going to the inside, and please also subscribe if you haven't already. So you do have smart entry, of course, with remote start. And taking a look inside of the cabin. Of course, this is a Kona, so you're gonna have the Kona cabin, but you're gonna have a lot of special in touches because this is a performance vehicle as well. Now to start out with, I want to talk about these seats. Of course, these are performance seats with really thick bolsters. We have a suede in the middle, a leather material on the outside edges with the color contrast stitching, and you have the in branding right there. And as far as the seats themselves, they are going to be 8-way power adjusting with 2-way lumbar support. We've got the scuff plate as well as the aluminum pedals. And then over here on the door trim, you do have a leather padding, a textured plastic along the top, and then a one-touch auto up and down window for the driver and the passenger. Now, of course, this interior is not the big focus of the N model because, you know, by and large, it's going to be similar to the regular Kona. So I'm just going to talk about, you know, the materials in general here are going to be the same. So we have the hard touch plastic on the upper dash, a padded leatherette type of texture that runs through the middle. It's going to be hard touch down through here as well. But of course, we do have the special things like your special in shifter here with the accent. I'm seeing that runs down into this area. Just a nice little touch. Special touches all around the vehicle. Now start up, put your foot on the brake, press the button of course. And then listen to that sound as soon as it starts up. So we do have a pretty limited amount of time with this vehicle. So like I was saying, the interior is probably the least exciting part of this vehicle. So I will keep this front part brief because it is very similar to the rest of the lineup. But here in the gauge cluster, a big thing with the N model is of course that you have different designs. So when you choose to go into different drive modes, you're going to see those designs shift. You're going to hear that exhaust shift as well. And then you can also change over here in this main display, get all your N graphics, just a lot of performance figures right through here that you can all customize as well with the different N buttons, which you'll see in here. So these are your custom drive modes. This is your N grin shift, which is a really awesome feature. Of course, here's your N steering wheel. This is special to the N model. We have really nice looking design here. Thick bolsters, color contrast stitching, perforated leather here on the sides. You have large paddle shifters on both sides of the wheel. And as far as the wheel itself, it is going to be manual tilt and telescoping. Now, of course, this is about everyday performance, so interior storage is going to remain the same. So you've still got a nice center console here, plenty of space, nice rubber padding down there at the bottom. We do have the 2 cup holders. We have a nice amount of storage up here in the front. This is actually a wireless phone charging pad as well. Nice shelf right there. You could also stick another phone. You have a couple USB ports there and a 12-volt outlet as well. Now this is the dual clutch model because that's the only way you can get the Kona in. So you pull back for drive, bump over here to the left to shift manually. We do have paddle shifters on the steering wheel as well. Heading into reverse, here is your standard backup camera. We do have active trajectory on board. And because this is an N vehicle, we do have the hand brake. So this is a nice thing to keep on all of the N models with, again, the really nice color contrast stitching that matches with everything, this special blue color. Up here we have 3-stage heated seats. This and the Elantra N, I believe they said are the only N models to ever have standard heated seats, which is a cool touch. And then as far as our climate controls, we've got a single zone automatic climate control set up here, so you adjust your temperature right there, fan speeds right over here on this side, and the rest of your buttons are located down here at the bottom. Then we come up here to the display. Again, a big aspect of this vehicle is that everyday performance. So just because you have a performance Kona does not mean you don't want nice technology. So you've got the 10.25-inch display standard on the N model. We also have the upgraded sound system. So this is the Harman Kardon sound system. And I was already showing you guys some of the special features of this display. So you've got the N mode with all that stuff, but you still have the regular features as well. So you have your built-in navigation map, you have the ability to check the climate and stuff up here, you've got quiet mode, and then you know, just the general good UI that includes both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay abilities. If we take a look up here, we've got the auto dimming mirror, nice sunglass holder, and then up here at the top, the Kona N does not come with a sunroof. However, the Elantra N does come with a sunroof if you have the dual clutch. Alright guys, so one of the beauties of having a Kona N is of course going to be the practicality of it. And you're going to see that here a lot in the rear as well as the cargo area, which I'll talk about in just a second. Let's talk about the space first. We have 35 inches of legroom, 38 inches of headroom. That does place it right on par with its competition. You know, of course there's not really any competition to the performance version, but if you're looking at a normal version of its competitive set like Kia Seltos, Mazda CX-30, stuff like that, that's right on par with the competition. The headroom is absolutely phenomenal. The legroom behind rear seating position, I'm looking at, I'd say probably an inch or two, and my feet can slide easily up underneath the seat, so you don't really have many concerns back here in terms of space. Now, for the center, we have a USB port here. It's a charging type. We also have a little storage cubby right there. You're not going to have any vents, though. And then I do want to point out the rear seats. In general, you know, this is a performance vehicle, so we have the really nice Alcantara right here in the middle. We have the perforations. Then if we fold down the center armrest, we do have cup holders inside. Now, walking up to the cargo area, like I mentioned, this is really the bright side about having a Kona N, is that you can have all that performance, but this is still an SUV at the end of the day. So we have 19 cubic feet of space behind the second row seats that expands up to 45 cubic feet if you fold them down. They do fold 60-40 split, so like I've said multiple times, you know, this is a performance vehicle, but you can also have that utility. You can have the seats folded up to almost 50 cubic feet of space. That's really the beauty of going for this Kona N over something like the Elantra N within Hyundai's own lineup. Now, let's talk about how they finished it. It's typical Kona. Back here we have a cargo cover up top. Then if we lift up the cargo floor, we have a little bit of extra space, not much though. You do have a manual adjusting passenger seat, as you would expect. Then if we pop open the glove box, this is going to be a good area for the Kona. This is, you know, typical size, as you would expect. It does fit the coupons in, so you can spend more money on gas driving this thing hard. Then up top we have a sun visor, we have a mirror as well as lighting, and we can also detach it and extend it. So I went ahead and popped the hood so we can check out what powers this beast. So a signature part of being an N is having a really good sounding turbo 4-cylinder engine. This continues that tradition. So this has the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder making 276 horsepower, 289 pound-feet of torque. It's perhaps the best sounding 2-liter 4 I've ever heard. Has just a ton of character, as you're gonna see, because we did drive this out on the racetrack, so that's coming up in just a second. But I just want to talk a little bit about what was under the hood, give you some of those performance numbers. You do have what's called in-grin shift. It's an overboost function, so temporarily you can boost the power up another 10 horsepower, so it's gonna take you to 286 horsepower, dials everything in to the max. As far as your transmission, it's going to be an 8-speed wet DCT, so a dual clutch automatic. You don't have the manual option for the Kona. Of course, you wouldn't really expect that since this is the crossover version. And this is going to be front wheel drive only. There is no all-wheel drive option, but it still has the limited slip differential. So I can tell you guys, it really puts the power down surprisingly well. I mean, this thing absolutely scoots. To be specific, it scoots to 60 miles per hour in 5.2 seconds. So this is not your economy car Kona, this is the real deal. So with that pretty much said, we'll go ahead and get to the part you really want to see. Let's take this bad boy out on the track. So here we are in the Kona N, and we're about to take it on the Auto Cross. So we'll get some of the intricate details about the steering in here, really tight corners and stuff.
I think that might have been the cone I took out earlier. I mean, wow. It just does such a good job. Oh my goodness, it just planted. Good experience. Kona in, thumbs up. Wow.
So much fun. Listen to those puffs and burbles. Wow. Really cuts the power down spectacularly well. I'm almost shocked. Very little torque steer. definitely hang tight with the Alonso. the end of my fun. I don't know how much the camera could hear, but definitely very impressed. Really a ton of fun, which is just a testament to how they've applied the N brand to even this Kona. Because this thing could hold tight with the Elantras, and I mean, really, they've just done a phenomenal job. To have a crossover stay this flat, put the power down like this, I mean, this really is a hoot on a racetrack, but you could still go and get the groceries in this. That's crazy to me. Really, really awesome. Well guys, that's all for this awesome experience with the 2022 Hyundai Kona N. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful, maybe you're looking to buy one of these, please hit that subscribe button down below. There's a ton more automotive content on our channel, so you won't regret subscribing, I promise you that. Also follow us on our other social medias like TikTok and Instagram. They have a lot more shorter form content on there if you are interested in that as well. Anyway, we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.